exactly what you want to see. Let's run this puppy in. Score a touchdown and tie this game. Life, run for your life, touchdown on one play. Worked on this in practice. Touchdown. It's up to Kelvin Benjamin. This is all you, buddy. Kelvin Benjamin for a touchdown. Oh, he toasted his man. Holmes toasted his man. Spin move. Oh! Oh! Okay, guys. It's another recap. It is another recap. That is for sure. So, the Ohio State Buckeye game was played yesterday. It was certainly played yesterday. And if it wasn't for Travion Henderson and a couple lucky plays here and there, that would have been back-to-back losses. And that is completely unacceptable. Let's get into this game. So, if you didn't know, the Buckeyes won, by the way. They won 41-20. But that score is very, very deceiving because this game was much, much closer than the score indicates. So, basically, this Buckeye team is not very good. I don't know if it's a mixture of the quarterback's not the right quarterback for the team. Maybe he doesn't get it. Maybe CJ Stroud isn't the guy, but it's still 3 games in and he's still young. He is only 19 years old. He's still learning the system. He's still learning college football. So I don't want to really take away his spot, but we've only got 1 game left. I'm not counting out Rutgers. The way this defense is played, I'm not counting out Rutgers. So we've only got 1 more game for CJ Stroud to get this fixed before we get into some really, really uncharted waters. And so let's start with CJ Stroud. So CJ on the day went 185 yards, 15-20 completions, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. CJ overthrew passes, missed reads, did not scramble. He seems like he is afraid to scramble, which I don't know why he seems like he's afraid to scramble. I don't know if he's afraid to get hit. I don't know if he doesn't know when to scramble, when the right time to scramble is, or if he can't sense the pressure enough, or what. I don't know what it is with him, but he needs to learn that when there's an opportunity to scramble, you need to take it because you're an athlete. He may not be the fastest guy in the field, but he doesn't have to be the fastest guy in the field. If he can get an extra 3, 4, 5 yards, that may be the difference between a first down and a 3rd and 2, then you definitely need to take that, CJ. So there's my criticism on CJ. He needs to get those passes under control. He is so inaccurate at sometimes. He can look so good. He can hit the dime after dime after a dime, and then he can just overthrow or just be so inaccurate on the next 3 passes. I don't know. He's so inconsistent right now, and it's just frustrating because as a Buckeye fan and as the Ohio State team in general have standards. We have championship level standards because we've done it before. And we've been the best team in college football. And we were just there last year. And so this team has national championship level standards. And a quarterback like CJ Stroud, at least the version of CJ Stroud that we have currently, is not going to get us there. It may not even get us to the Big Ten championship game. So let's get off of CJ Stroud now because he's not the reason, he's not the full reason why this Buckeye team is not cooking at the same temperature they usually do. But we'll get off of him for right now. We're going to skip the running backs because I'll get to them in a second. Let's go to Chris Salave, who didn't even catch a pass. I'm looking at his stats right now. He's not even on the list. He didn't even catch a pass. He did catch 1, but it was called back because of penalty. So there's a problem right there. When your best receiver, arguably your best receiver, I know Garrett Wilson is amazing. He had 6 catches for like 70 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, when you're arguably your best receiver goes catchless in a game like this, where this is supposed to be a tune-up game to get your offense back in control, get the defense under control, get everything back on track, and your best receiver doesn't get a catch, barely even gets targeted, and when he does, yes, Chris Salave didn't have his best game. He was targeted a couple times. He had some drops. He did miss a very catchable ball that probably was CJ Stroud's best throw of his career, and Chris Olave dropped it, which is unacceptable. You can't have that. I've been on record saying that Chris Olave has the best hands in the entire country, and yet he goes and drops that pass. So, I mean, Chris Olave is not off the hook. He's definitely to blame for some of this offense, because at least today, or yesterday. So, Chris Olave goes catchless. Garrett Wilson had the touchdown to basically seal the game. And it was a good route. CJ hit him. And this wide receiver core, it's good. The offense shouldn't be the problem, and yet CJ struggles. So maybe it's CJ. Maybe he just isn't the guy. Maybe he is the guy. He just needs more grooming, more time. I mean, his first 2 games were against Minnesota away from home at night, and then Oregon at home in a big-time game. So his first 2 games were pretty impactful. And then he comes home and plays Tulsa, and Tulsa came to play. They came to play. I will give them credit. I know in my prediction in the recap, I predicted a huge victory, and that's just the Buckeye fan in me, assuming that this team would get everything figured out and dominate. But I can't assume that anymore, because that was back when we actually had a consistent quarterback like Justin Fields. When Justin Fields took the field, you knew you were going to put up 50. Maybe even in the first half, because it was just that dynamic of an offense. So you got to look past that. I know that now we have a different quarterback. Okay. So enough nitpicking on the offense. I'm gonna get to the running backs in a second. Don't worry. Let's get to this defense, because that Tulsa offense is not good. Yes, I know the stats look good. I know that the stats in previous games look good, but you got to take that with a grain of salt. You got to take that with the teams they're playing. They came into this game 0-2, and they left 0-3, thankfully. But the defense for Ohio State, I have never seen a worse defense in college football, and I've watched a lot of Big 12 football, and I've never seen a worse defense. And I'm not overstating this. I'm not over-exaggerating. I'm not overreacting to anything, because this has been consistent for the past, year in terms of calendar-wise, dating back to like the national championship game, the Big Ten championship game last season, and now fast forward all the way to now, the Minnesota game, bad defense, the Oregon game, really bad defense, and now the Tulsa game, bad defense. I don't know who is to blame. It's not Kerry Combs, because Ryan Day, after the game in the press conference, said that Matt Barnes, the special teams coordinator or whatever, I don't even know what he was a position coach. He was calling plays on defense. So Kerry Combs isn't to blame. He's definitely not to praise by any means, but I don't know what needs to get fixed, but something needs to get fixed. I don't know if that's firing somebody, making an example out of somebody, but something needs to get fixed. Because if you go out in a Big Ten play and you put out a defense like that, there were people getting 15 yards of space in zones against this Buckeye defense. And it's Tulsa. Tulsa wide receivers, Tulsa running backs, Tulsa tight ends were getting 15 yards of space against these Buckeye DBs and Buckeye linebackers, because it's just not that good of a team on defense. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say. They're getting beat on every single play. They're taking bad angles. They're not hitting their spots. They're not hitting their zones. They can't cover. They can't tackle. They can't. It's not good team on defense. So I don't know who's to blame, but somebody is to blame. I'm assuming it's Ryan Day, because at the end of the day, Ryan Day is the head coach. He needs to get this fixed. And like I said, I don't know if that's to fire somebody. I don't know if that's to promote somebody that is on the staff that may need a better, like, give you a better shot. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the solution is, but something has to happen. Something needs to change, because if you put that defense out against Michigan State, against Indiana, against Michigan, against Penn State, against anybody in the Big Ten, you're going to get cooked for 500 plus every single time, because that defense is god awful. All right, I said I'd get to the running backs. It's time to get to the running backs. Thank you, baby Jesus, for TreVeyon Henderson. If TreVeyon Henderson does not play in this game, the Buckeyes lose by 30. Probably not 30. I'm exaggerating there. The Buckeyes lose the game. Because let me read you TreVeyon Henderson's stat line here. 23 carries, 270 yards, and 3 touchdowns, with a long of 54, averaging 11.7 per carry. Averaging 11.7 per carry. He's third now all time in Ohio State history in a single game with rushing. He set the record in a single game in regular season history, I'm pretty sure, with 270. And now, or he beat Eddie George's record, I think, or was it Archie Griffin's record? It was somebody, one of the good running, I can't remember at this point. He's third now all time. And he's really good. TreVeyon Henderson is a good football player. He's good at the whole football thing. So, I don't know if TreVeyon Henderson is the entire answer to this offense, because the better teams in the conference, when we get into Big Ten play, are going to figure out that TreVeyon Henderson's really good, and they're going to shut down the run game. So either Master Teague or Mayan Williams or somebody is going to have to step up behind him, or this offense isn't going to go, because CJ Stroud can't hit an open man for some reason. So thank you, Lord, for TreVeyon Henderson, because he is the reason we won this game. And that shouldn't be the case. TreVeyon Henderson shouldn't have to run for a school record just to beat Tulsa. That shouldn't have to happen. You should be able to put out your third string guys, your freshman 5 stars and 4 stars, and be able to beat these guys. It's Tulsa. It's Tulsa. They lost to UC Davis early in the season. What are we talking about here? You should be able to put out your third stringers and beat Tulsa, and yet you had to make your freshman running back run for 270 yards, a school record, just to be able to beat them. It shouldn't have to happen. I don't know what the problem is, but something needs to be fixed. I can't take it anymore. Buckeye fans aren't used to this. Buckeye fans don't know what it's like to be in this situation, because Buckeye fans have never been put in this situation for the past 2 decades now at this point. Yes, we had the 6-6 year with Luke Fickell, but that's an anomaly. So I don't know. And don't even get me started with Ryan Day, because I've been an advocate for Ryan Day being the play caller, being the mastermind behind this offense, being the mastermind behind this whole team. But a point was brought up on Twitter yesterday that I thought was very, very interesting, and I'll share it with you guys. So, Ryan Day has been the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes for 3 seasons now. 2019, 2020, and now 2021. The first 2 seasons he was the head coach, he had Justin Fields. And that offense was humming, putting up record numbers, making it to Big Ten championship games, making it to the playoffs. And now, the 1 year that he doesn't have Justin Fields, the 1 year that he doesn't have an already established top 10 pick in the NFL draft at quarterback, the one time that he has to actually develop a starting quarterback, and the one time he actually has to choose who his starting quarterback is going to be, this offense seems to struggle. So the obvious question is, can Ryan Day develop quarterbacks? Or did he just get lucky and fall face first into Justin Fields? So another question could be, can Ryan Day choose talent? Can he decipher who's the right fit for this offense and for the right fit for the situation? Is Kyle McCord the right situation? Is Quinn Ewers the right situation? Dare I say, Quinn Ewers the right situation? Or is CJ Stroud? Maybe CJ Stroud is the right situation and we just need to give him a little bit more time. That's the thing with playing at Ohio State. You don't have time because this team has expectations. And if you struggle, you can't really take time to develop. You can't take a year or 2 years to develop into a quarterback that's actually dominant in college football. You need to jump right into, and I know that sucks, and I know that's not the way it should be, but it's the way it is. That's how it is at Ohio State. It's a machine. It just keeps on turning. You just keep putting pieces in, and it just keeps on turning. It's a machine. Just like in the NFL, just like the Patriots or the Cowboys, just like in college football with Alabama. Alabama, you didn't see, Alabama struggled against Florida. They won by like 2 points, and they almost lost. That would have made my day, by the way. But Alabama, they just keep cycling in the pieces, and they just keep trucking along. So what's the difference? There should be no difference at Ohio State. We're getting the same level of talent, maybe even better than Alabama is. And yet we're out here struggling against Tulsa. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions left to be answered. I am by no means happy with this performance. Yes, I'm happy that we won. I'm happy that they didn't lose 2 games in a row and especially didn't lose to Tulsa. But I am by no means excited about this performance or by this team at all. I am, and like I said before, I am one of those fans that will not be happy with everything that my team does. This goes for the Patriots, it goes for the Miami Heat, it goes for the Blue Jackets, the Cincinnati Reds, the Buckeyes, everything. All my professional and college fandom, whatever the team does, I'm going to have an opinion about it, whether that be good or bad. If they do something stupid, I'm going to tell you that they did something stupid. And if they play bad like the Buckeyes did in this game, I'm going to tell you that they played bad and they sucked. They did. That defense has got awful. But I don't know, man. It makes you think, and it makes you reflect on just how good Justin Fields was in college. Because he, like, comparing this, and I know you shouldn't be comparing it to now, but there's a lot of the same players on this team that was on the Justin Fields teams, and it's just so much different. The offense is just so much smoother. The defense was still bad last year, but Justin covered for it. He really he was the Band-Aid of this team, and now that Band-Aid has been ripped off and replaced with an open wound that is CJ Stroud. So can he get it together? God, I hope so, because Akron is up next, and if they struggle against Akron, it's going to be another disappointing review and recap video on that next Sunday. So that's going to do it for me, boys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I hope you guys do get entertainment out of me ranting and raving about my favorite team, even though they did win. I know you're probably thinking that, oh, Juice is a spoiled Buckeye fan. Oh, they won. Get over it, whatever. Well, then you just don't watch college football. You're not a true fan if you don't get upset when your team doesn't perform to the expectations that they have set. The fans haven't set these expectations. The Buckeye as a unit and as a university, they have set these expectations. We just expect them to live up to them. So let me know down below what you guys thought of the game, and let me know down below if you guys are as upset as I am, because I am very upset, even though they won. So that's going to do it for me, though. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Make sure to smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.